Good afternoon, YouTube. It's been a long time since I shared anything with you. And to be honest, there's too much to cram into one video. But I figured I'd share with you what's going on right now. This is vehicle number 3 of 4 I picked up in a deal I made. That being number 1. That being number 2. This is number 3. And overall... well, I think this, I can't say that. I was going to say, I think this one's the biggest dud, but I don't think so. The frame is rotten. I knew that. It's got the 5.3. It's an extended 4-wheel drive. So, body is on par with the age and mileage it's got for Minnesota. Not too worried about that. Engine runs like a top, transmission's shot. I was thinking, before I knew the transmission was shot, I was just going to throw a new frickin' frame under it and sell it as is. They're not worth much right now anyway. But I may have just bought myself all the wiring and drivetrain and everything to make something a V8. I don't know. It's either find all of them. There's 1,000,001 of the V6s, or I should say i6s of these things out there with blown motors. I might just have to buy one of them fairly clean and do an engine swap and a transmission swap or build. I don't know. So, well, 05 Yukon Denali, short obviously, 6.0, bad engine. I knew that. This fender's spanked, the other side's been replaced, rockers are gone, rear quarter could be a little better, but it's not horrible, there's no holes. It just looks ugly. Anyway, interior's mint, so that I'm happy about. But needless to say, I bought an engine for it for $1,000. Where is it? It's over here. Sitting on the stand there. Needless to say, it needs a complete rebuild. Apparently, this engine had 300,000 on it. They were unsure. I mean, the vehicle had 300, but they thought there's no way. Look how nasty that is, man. They used some shitty frickin' oil, and they didn't change it often enough. But the crank has too much end play, so it's going to get a fresh set of bearings. It's going to get, we're going to pull the pistons out. It's going to get new rings. It's going to get we're going to hone it a bit and go through the heads a bit. I'm going to be over budget in this fucking thing, but it is in halfway decent shape. So yeah, that's that one. Like I said, bad transmission. Engine is good. It's got 230 on it, maybe. Don't mind my frickin' thing. My dehumidifier, it's a little noisy. But, so this is a 14 Charger SXT V6 all-wheel drive. Was in an accident. Clearly, I didn't take all of it. Well, not clearly. I didn't take all this off. The front clip was pretty much already gone. In case you can't tell, she's bowed. There you go. Now you can see it. Alright, and then I pulled the cradle out last night. So we got to do an oil pan. Cradle came back, hit the oil pan, cracked it. Main impact, besides that, I guess it was from that point, middle to the sway bar mount. So it smushed and pushed back. And it's more obvious when you look at it like this. Those ones are tilted. That's straight. Straight, tilted. So that's that. Frame-wise of the car, I believe should survive. Hopefully, not too bad. This is where it pushed. It's so hard to tell on camera, but let me just show you the other side. This side's unaffected, right? Nice and flat, no curves, no nothing, right? This side's got a dent. I don't think it's going to be world-ending. I will have a frame shop look at it. I do not have a new cradle for it yet. The bolts will go straight up into the bolt holes. I did check that last night. They're almost on a pivot for some reason, or they're loose up inside there. That's not a... Yeah, this is. So that threads in there. Pretty much, it'll pretty much go in there straight up and down. This collar got cocked a little bit. I can probably get that to sit straight. This one, I think I got to sit pretty much straight again. So, so I can bolt another frame to it. Whether or not the frame will be, this frame will be straight enough, I don't know. The only wrinkle I saw was right here, this outer piece. I don't know what structure that really does provide, but you can see on this side, it's snug up against there. So it'll be interesting to see. That may tell me that this whole thing's pushed back. I don't know. We'll see. But hopefully nothing too bad. Just a quick pull and be back on the road again. But the main, obviously, like I said, pan's got a hole, and it's got a crack. So, just like you and me. Anyway, pulled the front diff off. I know people would love to see how this is done. Literally just undo the 4 bolts. There's this bracket here I swung up out of the way. I took 1 bolt out up there. No, started taking that bolt loose, swung up out of the way. There's 2 bolts here. Don't forget about these. I kind of fucked up. You can tell. I kind of fucked up and broke an ear off. Oops. Kind of broke 2 actually. But and then the axle just pulls straight out. So I'm going to have to find a new one of them. But anyway, I only saw the 4 bolts from my point of view right here, and the black bracket was not visible from where I'm standing. So anyway, same thing over here. There's a bracket here, swung it up out of the way. You got all these bolts on the inside, and then these 2, and then just 2 or 3 up there, 4 maybe, and then that drops out of there, plus the drive shaft. Don't forget about that. T50 Torx. This guy's only like 25-30 pounds, so it's not bad at all. And yeah, so now we're working on oil pan bolts. Gonna get the oil pan out. I already have one right there. So if I told you what I paid for the car, some people might think I'm an idiot. I don't know. It's under $1,500, so I can't complain too bad. I thought it was a decent deal, as long as the frame part doesn't reap too much out of my pocket. Then I should be on budget for being able to resell this car fairly decently. The body's in good shape, really good shape. The rims all need to be re-straightened, if not replaced. And I'm going to replace this fender, obviously. Having it painted is just going to cost too much. But body's in pretty good shape. Doesn't have a rear bumper cover either, but at least it has tail lights and trunk lid and all that stuff's in good shape. Guess they obviously ran over something, and I'm thinking that something ended up ripping off the rear bumper, but nothing under the underside is been really affected. Obviously it caught some stuff, but for 200,000 miles of Minnesota, this is actually very, very clean, I say. The bottom of the jack points is probably the worst part, but it gets better the further you go. So I'm not too, for 200,000 miles for 2014, I'd say this is in pretty decent shape. It looks probably worse than it is. It's got new brake pads on it. I'll get the rotors cleaned up before I drive it, but the goal was, if someone's going to mention the trunk pan, that was me with the forklift. But good thing it's just tin. I can take a fucking sledgehammer and bong it down again. The plan is, obviously, I need to know this engine's good. You can't run it like that, so I did not. They didn't. The place I bought it from, same, like I said, I made a deal, 4 vehicles. So that's that. Oil pan, get the oil pan on, see if it's a good motor. If it's a good motor, I'll continue. If it's not a good motor, I'm probably parting it out, unfortunately. An engine's $1,800, and that's on the cheaper end. And I'm just not looking to get that deep into it. Airbags did go off. It is a clean title, but I will replace all the airbags. That's knees, curtain, dash, needs a windshield. And I know the whole dash assembly has to get replaced to replace the passenger airbag. I know that. So anyway, I've already priced stuff out on this car before I said I was going to buy it. And I figured as long as the frame damage wasn't too bad, I'd have some wiggle room to make a deal and make some money on it. The only thing I did not account for the potential is seatbelt tensioners. That'll add an extra cost, but I've got a guy who can keep an eye out for parts for me and so on and so forth. But for the most part, I think we should be okay as long as the engine is okay and the frame damage is not significant enough to warrant vehicle parting out or whatever. But I mean, you look at the gaps, the door's not hitting the fender at all. All that seems good and kosher. So I have a hard time believing all this got shoved back just because of a little wrinkle there. And it may just be this front section here that needs a quick tug that way, if that. Maybe the alignment will be fine. I don't know. We'll find out. But so, because it's literally like this just kind of started pulling it back a little. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. So I'm excited to hear this thing run. That's where I'm going to head to next. This video is going to be fairly quick and short. I'll do an update video after I get it running, or as it's running, or as I start it. I don't know. Probably as I start it, but I'm not going to put everything back together. I'm just going to start it as is. It's probably not the world's greatest idea, but I'm not going to leave that one in there. But probably put a board underneath the oil pan and such just to keep it supported as it torques to start up. But other than that, I'm not going to complain. I'm just going to freaking get it done and hopefully have this thing running tonight. Hopefully. Yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. There's more to be had. Thanks for watching. God bless.